Hello everyone, my name is Aastha and I welcome you all to our classes for International English Olympiad for class 7th. Today is our very first class wherein we will be starting with a brief introduction about what IU really is, how it is going to help you in the long run, and what its syllabus is and how we're going to go about it. From the next class onwards, we will be taking up each topic, doing it comprehensively, separately, right? So let's start our very first class wherein we understand the brief introduction about IU. Alright, so what IU does broadly is, now first of all, it is conducted by the Science Olympiad Foundation. It conducts the IU Olympiad every year. And this is for all the classes, for classes 1 to 12. For class 1, there's a separate exam. For class 2, there's a separate Olympiad. Now that is pretty obvious. Alright, separate exams for all these classes. And the most important aspect is that it helps in your foundational level preparation. Why do I call it foundational level preparation? Now see, that is because we will be doing various topics, all right? Various topics in English, and all these topics, they form the basis, they form the foundation for your further growth in English, for your further understanding and development in English. For example, if we do nouns, if we do articles, now these are just these basic topics which will further enhance your English. Suppose we are also going to do topics like idioms and jumbled words and proverbs and homonyms and homophones and synonyms and antonyms. So topics like these, they add value to your to that part of your brain, you know, which has all the English stored in it, which controls the language. So once you learn these new words and these new kinds of idioms and proverbs, and you start using them in your conversations, it gives you a good feeling. It will also help you in your writing skills. All right, so this will provide you as a foundational level preparation and give you a lot of value addition material for your English and its various skills and various aspects where you can use it, like reading, writing, listening, and speaking. All right, this is a brief introduction about IEO. Let's move on. So now the next question. First, we have understood what IEO is. Now the second question that comes to our mind is, how will it really help me? Now, okay, I have understood what IEO is, who conducts it, how is it conducted. But the important question is, how will I be benefited from IEO? Why should I work hard for it? Now, you are given all these lectures, these videos, and you are watching them, and you are studying, and you will be taking quizzes as well. So why should I work hard for it? And how will? So let's try to understand that. Now you see, there are two broad reasons, or these columns I have made to make you understand why IEO is going to help you and how is it going to help you. Now, first of all, when we talk about academics, we talk about the school exams, whatever unit tests and summative assessments and half yearlies and terminal exams you have, all of them comprise of English. And even your English syllabus, I am pretty sure that whatever topics we are going to study, they will cover most of your English grammar syllabus. So, by studying for IEO, you are completing your school syllabus as well. In fact, you are doing a little more than that and you are already practicing mock exams as well. So you will have an edge. आपको एक advantage होगी over the other students who are not giving the IEO. And the other reason is focus on communication and use of learning. There will be no rote learning here. Now, English is one subject where you cannot rote learn. No rote learning. Now, this is because in English, what happens is there is direct application. There is practical use of the concepts learned. कोई theory नहीं है. For example, when you study history, आपने पढ़ा, you read about some war or you read about some ruler and you learned about their facts. So you can memorize them and when the question is asked in the exam, you can write that down. But in English, कोई आपसे, there will be no question like what is a noun, what is a verb, what are the various forms of tenses. ऐसा कोई question नहीं आएगा. Rather, question आएगा practical knowledge पे. Practical knowledge मतलब आपको verbs पता होंगे कि क्या होते हैं, पर question आएगा जिसमें आपको verb लगाना होगा, जिसमें आपको verb का tense लगाना होगा. इस तरीके से आपके practical questions आएंगे. So इसमें आप कुछ भी रख नहीं सकते हैं. And the aspect which says focus on communication and use of learning. Now, when you learn the basic concepts of grammar, जैसे हम vocabulary करेंगे, हम nouns करेंगे, हम antonyms और synonyms, हम इतने सारे topics करेंगे. तो इन सब topics को जब आप समझोगे तो obviously आपकी vocabulary improve होगी and आप उन words को, उन concepts को आप अपनी English में, आप अपनी जो English communication करेंगे उसमें आप use कर पाएंगे. तो that will improve your speaking skills. Speaking skills improve हुई. And then if you understand these concepts well, तो अगर आपसे when people talk to you in English, you will be able to understand them better as well. तो आपकी listening skills भी improve हुई. And writing skills भी improve होंगी. कैसे? Because when you learn the new words and you understand the grammar properly, तो आपकी जो writing skills हैं उसमें भी आपकी एक enhanced learning दिखेगी. Your teacher will know that yes, this student knows his or her concepts and they are writing and they're using correct grammar and they are using the correct punctuation and they are even using new words. So you will get your extra marks in school syllabus as well and you will improve your English communication also. Now here I'm going to give you a very basic example of how IEO will help you in understanding different aspects and improving your grammar. For example, you see this is a question. The question is, what time will you meet me tonight? Now you quickly write, you should quickly write an answer to this question. Okay, or maybe think about it, or just I would prefer अगर आप एक इसका आंसर लिख लें अपने पास. So now you see, this question could have three answers, three types of answers, and all three of them would be different. और इनमें difference पता चलेगा हमें उनकी grammar से. You see, first, I can meet you at 7. If I ask someone, what time will you meet me tonight? So, if the person says, I can meet you at 7. This means, ये possible है कि मैं तुम्हें 7 o'clock मिल सकता हूँ या मिल सकती हूँ. Okay. Next answer could be, I will meet you at 7. Now, here, there is a promise. We were using will. I'll means I will meet you at 7. So, will is for a future plan or promise. So, the person is making a promise कि हाँ, I will meet you at 7. Okay. Then the other answer could be, I would meet you at 7. Now would is used that there might be conditions which make it difficult. Now इधर कोई promise नहीं है, इधर कह रहे हैं कि मैं मिल सकता हूँ, but there might be conditions, मतलब अगर कुछ दिक्कत आ गई, there might be some difficulty, तो फिर there might be a problem in meeting you. So I would meet you at 7. So you see, for the same question, there could be 3 kinds of different answers. And अगर आप इन sentences में इसकी grammar को समझ के आप अगर correct usage करने लग जाएं, तो आपकी English overall improve ही होगी. Your speaking skills, your listening skills, your reading skills, all of them. So I hope you understood the example. Now let's move on. All right. So these are a few more benefits that IO will provide you. Now first is the development of skills. Now what kind of skills? Reading, writing, listening, speaking. So all these kind of skills, IO preparation would help you develop. Let me explain you how. Now, for example, reading. Now there is a separate section for reading in IEO, wherein you have to read the passages and then answer the questions after reading the passage. All right. So now उससे आपकी एक तो रीडिंग की जो प्रैक्टिस है वो काफी अच्छे से हो जाती है. Right. And next will be writing. Now writing में तो आपकी बहुत सारी हेल्प होने वाली है. कैसे? कि जो राइटिंग प्रैक्टिस होती है, राइटिंग प्रैक्टिस में as per the vocabulary and the synonyms and the antonyms and the idioms and proverbs and the correct grammar, ये सारे aspects आपकी राइटिंग में चेक होते हैं. तो जैसे जैसे आप नए नए एस्पेक्ट सीखोगे, जैसे वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक ऑफ idioms and proverbs. नाउ हमें इतने इंटरेस्टिंग एंड इतने इंसाइटफुल idioms और proverbs सीखने को मिलेंगे, जिसमें you can, if you use them in your writing, you will obviously gather more marks and आपकी writing skills तो अच्छी होंगी ही. Similarly, जब हम voices, narration, अलग अलग topics करेंगे, तो आपकी writing skill improve होगी ही. All right. And then listening how? Now when you're taking the class, you are listening, and whenever I speak in English, you try to understand what I am saying, right? तो आप उसे समझते हो और आप उसे implement करते हो, आप उसे understand करके apply करते हो अपने topics में. तो उसी तरीके से listening as well, and speaking of course with right grammar and with newer word meanings, newer vocabulary, तो आपकी speaking skills भी improve होंगी. All right, and there is this one important aspect जो है पूरा the spoken and written expression. The spoken and written expression aspect वो हम आपको बहुत अच्छे से ये explain करता है, जिसमें आपको समझ आए कि किस तरीके से आपको what is the appropriate response as per certain situation. For example, if there is an apology in a situation, for example, if there is a request in a situation, तो उसमें किस तरीके से की replies and किस तरीके की response जो है वो suitable होता है. All right. The next aspect is testing the understanding of the concept. Now, अगर हम जब एक एक चैप्टर करेंगे और एक एक टॉपिक को समझेंगे, तो उसमें आपको कॉन्सेप्ट की अंडरस्टैंडिंग में बिल्कुल दिक्कत नहीं होगी. कॉन्सेप्ट अच्छे से समझ आ जाएगा एंड ग्रामर जो है ना, ग्रामर आपको बिल्कुल भी मुश्किल नहीं लगेगी. नाउ एक एक टॉपिक, फॉर एग्जांपल टेंसेस एंड वर्ब्स, तो थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्ट टॉपिक कह सकते हैं, क्योंकि आपको थोड़ा सा उसमें सोचना पड़ता है कि यहाँ पे टेंस कौन सी फॉर्मेशन होगी. एंड टेंसेस इज वन एस्पेक्ट जिसमें लोग बड़े हो जाते हैं तब तक भी काफ़ी गलतियां करते हैं. बट अगर आप आईओ के लिए अच्छे से टेंसेस को कर लेते हैं, अच्छे से प्रैक्टिस कर लेते हैं, टेंसेस जैसे टॉपिक को, तो ये जो ग्रामर है ना, आपको उससे बिल्कुल भी डर नहीं लगेगा. सो ग्रामर वोंट स्केयर यू एनीमोर. Alright, now let's see other benefits. Alright, now अगर आपकी इंग्लिश बेटर हो रही है, अगर आपको सारे कॉन्सेप्ट समझ आ रहे हैं, आप सही आंसर्स कर पा रहे हैं, तो आपका कॉन्फिडेंस अच्छे से बूस्ट अप हो जाएगा. Alright, in aspects like grammar and vocabulary, और जब आप न्यू चैलेंजेस फेस कर रहे हो, जैसे कि जो हम मॉक क्वेश्चंस करेंगे, तो मॉक क्वेश्चंस में देयर इज ऑलवेज अ न्यू क्वेश्चन इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू. फॉर एग्जांपल, फॉर सिनोनिम्स देयर इज ऑलवेज अ न्यू वर्ड जिसका आप नया सिनोनिम, नया एंटोनिम सीखने को मिल रहा है. देयर आर न्यू एडवर्ब्स, न्यू कंजंक्शंस, न्यू कॉन्ट्रैक्शंस दैट यू आर लर्निंग, कहाँ यूज होते हैं. इवन द रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन, के रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन में there's this new passage every time. So all this helps in boosting up your confidence. जब आपको concepts clear होने लग जाएंगे, सारे grammar के, vocabulary के new words, and आप नए नए challenges face करने में आपको बिल्कुल भी डर नहीं लगेगा. Alright, now other advantages for your future competitive exams. एक तो आपकी जो growth and development हो रही है ना, एज पर जो आप इंग्लिश को आप अच्छे से कर पाएंगे, जब आपकी जो सारी हो रही है, आपकी कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्डअप हो रहा है, आपके कॉन्सेप्ट्स क्लियर हो रहे हैं, तो इन सब चीज़ों से आपकी ओवरऑल ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट हो रही है. आप में अंदर जब आपके कॉन्फिडेंस आने लग गया, तो यू विल बी स्पीकिंग इंग्लिश कॉन्फिडेंटली. आप जो कॉन्वर्सेशंस होंगे वो आपकी इंग्लिश में कॉन्फिडेंटली होने लग जाएंगे. तो ऐसे ही आपकी पर्सनालिटी बिल्डिंग एंड दिस ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट विल टेक प्लेस. एंड ये वही जो आपकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग और जो कॉन्सेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी आपको मिल रही है, से भी दिस विल हेल्प इन योर फर्दर फ्यूचर कंपेटिटिव एग्जाम्स. किसी भी एग्जाम में जो आपको क्वेश्चन, तो आप इंग्लिश में ही हैंडल करेंगे, राइट. एंड मोरोवर आपकी कंपेटिटिव एग्जाम्स में मोस्ट ऑफ देम, I mean almost all of them, they have a section which tests your English, and good English and correct English, and the people who speak English confidently, they are to be preferred everywhere. So it is important कि आप अपने basics ही clear करके चलेंगे, तो आपको आगे जाके बिल्कुल भी कोई issue नहीं आएगा, and English as a language will start coming naturally to you. Alright, then another aspect is personality building. Now if IEO, you get good marks in IEO, first of all you get participation certificates, you get medals and you get awards, and जो आपका ये जो experience हो रहा है, this rich experience, this is also very important and helps in overall personality building. So I hope that you have understood how important it really is to study well for IEO, to participate in these kinds of competitions like Olympiads and perform well in them. And जो हम पढ़ रहे हैं ना, आपको सिर्फ Olympiad के लिए लेके नहीं चलना, उसको अपनी overall language development के लिए लेके चलना. IEO के लिए तो important है ही, पर English as a language is also very important in today's world. So ये जो सारे topics हैं, आपको उनको ऐसे ही पढ़ना है कि you are learning this for the long term. Let's move on. Alright, so next we will be talking about the student performance report, which is provided by IEO when your result comes. Now, how the student performance report will help you in analyzing your strengths and weaknesses, and how it will help you in the overall analysis, we'll be discussing that. So the first section, section A, this one talks about, see, it provides the student marks and rank achieved in the school, city, zone, region, and at the international level. Here, and at the international level. Now here the section A, whatever questions were there in your question paper, whatever marks you have achieved, and as per those marks, whatever your rank is in your school. Now in your school means in your class. Now obviously in whichever class you are, उसी class के हिसाब से आपकी school ranking आएगी. And then in the city, whatever your class students, suppose if you are in class 12th, so class 12th की जो भी students ने दिया है आपकी city में, so उन सब की comparison में आपकी rank क्या है. Similarly for the zonal level, similarly for the regional level, and at the international level as well. Alright, so this is the section A. This provides you your marks and your rank. Now this is the basic चीज जो हर exam के बाद आपको मिलती ही है. Right, so this is the first basic section. Now section B. Now the section B is interesting. This will be providing a past year-wise analysis of the student. Now the year-wise analysis of the student. Now in whichever class you are, and उस class की previous classes में भी अगर आपने Olympiads दिए हैं and you have registered with IEO, तो अगर IEO के पास आपके records हैं तो they will be providing a year-wise analysis, your year-wise analysis in IEO. All right. Now suppose this year you got 90% of the marks in the last year. Suppose last year you got 85%, then next year you got 90%, then next year if you get 85. So this performance past year performance analysis is given by IEO to the student. Now how does this help you? एक past year analysis, this helps you कि आप अपना analyze कर पाते हो कि last year I did this much of preparation, या last year मैंने इतने time preparation करी थी, ये यहाँ से ऐसे करा था और वहाँ से पढ़ाई करी थी, तो मैं इतने marks ला पाया या ला पाई, या मुझको इतनी help हुई. And suppose this year I did not study much and I maybe थोड़ा सा last year because you got good marks this year you got maybe a little overconfident. That is quite possible in students, right? So that way this past year wise analysis helps you in analyzing where you went wrong or where you went right. All right. Now the next section. Okay. Section C provides correct answers to questions asked in the Olympiad exam, the answers given by the student, and the performance comparison of the student's answer with other students in the zone and the international level. Now here you see, here are 2-3 aspects. First one talks about the correct answers to the questions, and which will be compared with the answers given by you, the answers given by the student. So here you can make a clear-cut comparison as to what the actual answer was, and if you made a mistake, then where did you go wrong and which questions you marked incorrectly, and then you can analyze question wise that in this question this was the correct answer and this was not, so where did I go wrong. All right, then what is the second part here? Performance comparison of the students' answers versus other students in the zone and the international level. So whatever your answers were, whatever your performance was, that performance is also compared at the zonal and at the international level. Now you see, we are talking about so many comparisons. Here we are comparing at the zonal and international level as per the performance. Here in section A, we are providing the students' mark and rank achieved at the school, city, region, international level. You are also giving you the past year-wise analysis. Now, yes, it is fine and it is all good to compare with others and see where you stand in the crowd. But you know, you should not let that take a toll on you. The most important aspect is competing with yourself. All right. Now, once you compete, you have to compete with yourself in the sense that whatever subject, whatever topic you have studied and understood and solved its questions, now you should be confident enough that whatever I have studied, no, If out of 10 topics, even say you have studied only 8 topics. So of these 8 topics, these 8 topics should be so strong, should be such, they should, become your forte, and you should not make a mistake in them. All right. Now, even in those 2 sections, out of those 10 sections, if 2 topics you have not studied at all, it's okay. But you have to focus on these 8 topics which you have studied and make sure you don't make a mistake in them. That's what's important. This is called competing with yourself. Next, when you study next time, when you have studied these 2 more topics and you've studied all the topics, then that will be the time when you will be competing with yourself and saying that, now I will not make a mistake in any of the topic. And suppose competing with yourself also means, suppose you solved your 1-hour question paper. In the first attempt, say you solved it in 50 minutes. 50 minutes should be the ideal criteria, because 5 minutes you take for those assigning the attendance sheet and all those logistics things, and 5 minutes you leave for revision, at least 5 minutes. All right, so 50 is the maximum time you should be taking. However, if suppose you take full 1 hour in solving 50 questions, solving 50 questions in the first go, but for the second time, when you will be competing with yourself, it will be about solving the question paper in less than 50 minutes or in less than 1 hour, whatever your first time slot was. And ऐसा नहीं है कि question solve कर दिए और गलत हो गए. Questions correct भी करने हैं और कम time में भी करने हैं. All right, this is what we call as competing with yourself. Now, all these ranks and comparison with other students of different zones and regions and national level, international level, all that is good. It gives you a reality check about where you stand actually. But the most important aspect, in not just in IEO but in every area, is competing with yourself and improving yourself. Means you should be better than what you were tomorrow. All right, that's what it is. And once you start competing with yourself and improving yourself, obviously आपकी जो ranking है, आपकी जो performance है in comparison with others, that will become as a byproduct of your own improvement. All right, now let's move on to the next section. Okay. Here, the student performance report, section D, E, and F. All right, so here, section D, it talks about providing a percentage score analysis of the student with comparison of the class, city, zone, and region level. Now, in the previous sections, we were talking about the rank analysis, a performance analysis. Here, we are providing a percentage score analysis. All right, now percentage score how? Your question paper is of 60 marks. All right, now out of 60, if you have achieved 54. Now 54 is 90%, right? So this 90 percentage, this is 90%. Now this 90% percentage score, okay, this will be compared with the class level, city level, your average class percentage, and etc. This is another criteria for comparison that is provided. All right. Another one is provides a comparison of average marks analysis. Now, previously we were talking about this percentage score. Here we are comparing the average marks. All right. Now here you see कितने ज़्यादा parameters आपको provide किए जा रहे हैं to compare yourself, to give you a reality check. All right. Then this one, very important for you. This is a topic-wise performance analysis of the student. Topic-wise, your section-wise performance analysis. कि आपने कहाँ, कौन से section में you have made the most mistakes, which is the section that requires your utmost attention. और ये topic-wise analysis में what you should really do is सबसे पहले आपको sorry, सबसे पहले you should see कि which is the area where I have lagged in, where I have made the most mistakes. Then analyze how did you do its preparation. क्या आपकी preparation में there was some loophole? Did you not solve enough questions, or did you not give this section enough time? और क्या रिसोर्स की अवेलेबिलिटी नहीं थी, मतलब जो हम क्वेश्चंस कर रहे हैं अगर वो आपका सेक्शन वीक है एंड आपको हम जब टॉपिक्स करेंगे तभी आपको रियलाइज हो जाएगा. मैं तो आपको बस एक स्टैंडर्ड सेट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस करा रही हूँ, बट इफ यू थिंक दैट दिस सेक्शन इज वीक एंड मेरे से मोस्टली क्वेश्चन सॉल्व नहीं हुए, द फर्स्ट थिंग यू शुड डू इज वॉच द कॉन्सेप्ट अगेन. बट अगर कॉन्सेप्ट आपको फिर भी आपको लग रहा है कि नहीं मेरे को अभी भी समझ नहीं आया है, तो कॉन्सेप्ट इफ यू वॉच 2-3 टाइम्स एंड प्रिटी श्योर क्लियर हो जाएगा. एंड देन फिर भी आपको क्वेश्चंस में दिक्कत आ रही है, यू शुड वॉच ईच क्वेश्चन स्लोली, वन बाय वन, वॉच इट्स एनालिसिस. एंड फिर क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने में अगर आपको ज्यादा टाइम लग रहा है तो you go and you search for worksheets, you search for exercises for that topic. एंड आई एम प्रिटी श्योर आपके सिलेबस में भी मोस्ट ऑफ द टॉपिक्स होंगे, तो आप उसमें से कीजिए. ग्रामर टॉपिक्स इतने डिफिकल्ट होते नहीं है, एक आप लॉजिकल अंडरस्टैंडिंग से आप बेसिक उससे समझेंगे तो हो जाएगा. बट अगर इशू आता है तो यू शुड सर्च फॉर मोर एक्सरसाइजेस एंड देन गो विद देम. एंड एक एक क्वेश्चन को अच्छे से कि इसमें क्यों ऐसा हो रहा है, लॉजिकली अंडरस्टैंडिंग एवरीथिंग. पैटर्न बनना चाहिए कि ये पैटर्न हर जगह फॉलो हो रहा है. ऑलराइट, so we were talking about the topic wise performance. Topic wise performance में as I said, जो आपका topic you are weak in that, you should again go back and revise its concepts. अगर आपके उसके concepts clear हैं, go for the questions and see जो आपने question में गलती करी है. question में आपकी क्या गलती थी, क्या आपसे कुछ एक what do we call it, एक तो होते हैं हमारे ओमिशन एरर्स जिसमें हम मार्क ही नहीं कर पाते, या फिर कुछ हमारे केयरलेसनेस की वजह से कि मेरे को बी मार्क करना था मैंने सी मार्क कर दिया. बट कुछ होते हैं कॉन्सेप्चुअल एरर्स. कॉन्सेप्चुअल एरर्स जिसमें एक तो होता है कि आपको कॉन्सेप्ट आता है पर यहाँ आपने अप्लाई गलत तरीके से किया है. ऑलराइट, आपको कॉन्सेप्ट अच्छा आता है पर आप यहाँ अप्लाई आपने गलत किया, उसकी वजह से गलत हुआ. ऑलराइट, और एक क्वेश्चंस होते हैं जिसका आपको कॉन्सेप्ट ही नहीं पता. जिसका आपको कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं पता, आपने पढ़ा नहीं, वो तो एक डिफरेंट ही चीज है, वो तो आप पढ़ो और फिर सॉल्व करो तो तब हो जाना चाहिए. पर जहां पे आप कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं अप्लाई कर पाए हो, जहां पे आपको समझ नहीं आया है कि ये कॉन्सेप्ट कौन सा है, यहाँ मैं अप्लाई कैसे करूं, वहां आपकी प्रेपरेशन में फ्लॉ आ जाता है कि ये जो कॉन्सेप्ट था ना आपने इनिशियली ही अच्छे से नहीं समझ पाए हो. ऑलराइट, तो उसके लिए आपको शुरू से अपना कॉन्सेप्ट दोबारा करना चाहिए. उसमें कुछ और फ्लॉ नहीं होता है एरर के, वो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस होते हैं जिसमें आपको लगा था कि हाँ मुझे समझ आ गया पर फिर भी आपने गलती कर दी. ये हमें सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट होता है अपनी वीकनेस रियलाइज करना कि हाँ आई हैव मेड अ मिस्टेक हियर, लेट मी गो बैक एंड रेक्टिफाई दिस मिस्टेक. ऑलराइट, सो इफ यू डू ऑल दीज थिंग्स तो IEO में आपकी जैसे भी मार्क्स आए, now the focus is कि obviously कि अच्छे मार्क्स आए and you score well, but even if you don't score as per your expectations, तो you should make a promise to yourself of taking the most learnings out of it. जितने भी you 2 questions wrong, 3 questions wrong, even if 10 questions are wrong, that's fine. You should learn from them, and for the future you should revise those concepts thoroughly and make sure that those concepts are on your tips for the next time and you are not making a mistake in them again. All right, so now let's move on to the next section of our class. Now you see another question that comes is, हमने पहले ये समझ लिया कि IEO क्या है, कैसे कंडक्ट होता है. सेकंड क्वेश्चन हमने ये समझ लिया कि ये हमें हेल्प कैसे करेगा हमारी कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स में, हमारी राइटिंग स्किल्स में, रीडिंग स्किल्स में, और हमारे स्कूल सिलेबस से भी सिमिलर है तो वहाँ भी हेल्प करेगा. And the third question that comes is, so what do we do and what do we have to study and how do we study? अब how do we study ये सब कुछ समझने के लिए हमें सबसे पहले एग्जाम की जो डिमांड है, एग्जाम क्या चाह रहा है, एग्जाम किस तरीके से होता है, वो हमें समझना होगा. All right. All right, so now we will be understanding the pattern for the IEO. All right, so you are given total 50 questions. The time given to solve this question is 1 hour, and the marks of these questions is 60 marks. How is it so? You get 45 questions which are of 1 mark each. Of these 3 sections we will be doing in detail in the following slides, and the rest you get 5 questions which are in the achiever section. All right, and these questions are of 3 marks each. So in total this becomes 60 marks. All right, so you are given a total of 50 questions and the time is 1 hour, and the total marks is 60 marks. So on an average, if you see, you should give 1 hour as 60 minutes, right? So you should not give more than 1 minute to each question and then leave 10 minutes. The first 5 minutes, you know, they usually go for signing the attendance sheet and distribution of sheets and logistics like that. And the rest 5 minutes, they should be used by you for your revision, at least. Now, this is the least I'm talking about. So the maximum you should give to every question is 1 minute, not more than that. All right, let's move on. Okay, so here are these 3 sections. We have word and structure knowledge, reading, spoken and written expression. Total you get 45 questions out of these, and these are of 1 mark each. Total makes it 45. Then the achiever section, you get 5 questions. They are of 3 marks each. Total becomes 15. So in total there are 50 questions to be solved, and the total marks become 60 marks. This is the achiever section. This will have the hot questions. We will discuss further. We'll discuss in the further slides. All right, this is the overall pattern for IEO. All right, so now we will be explaining each section, and we will take each section one by one and see what is the syllabus as per each section. The first section, let's start with it. All right, so this is the first section. Let's see what all topics will we be covering in the first section. Now there are various grammar topics like you see phrasal verbs, idioms, modals, word order, nouns, pronouns, verbs, adverbs, adjectives, very interesting, articles, very simple, conjunctions, preposition, punctuation, jumbled words, tenses, spellings, collocations, words related to travel, locations, activities, homonyms, homophones, synonyms, antonyms, analogies, one word, voices, and narration. So as you can see, these are basically grammar topics which we will be covering in here, and these are conceptual in nature. Now once you get the basic concept out of these, it becomes very easy to answer these questions. All right, now this is the heart and soul, I can say, the heart and soul of IEO, and if you can ace this section, the other ones become pretty easy for you. Let's see how. All right, now let's move towards the second section of the syllabus. What will the second section be having? As we saw, first section had what? It had various grammar topics. Let's see what's in there in the second section. All right, so here is the second section for us. Here what we will have to do is we will have to search for and retrieve information. Searching for and retrieving information from what? From various text types. Like what? Like news headlines, brochures, formal and informal letters, and advertisements. Now you see, this is some sort of a reading comprehension. Here you have to search for and retrieve information from various text types. Certain text types will be given to you. These can be various like passages, like example जो दे रखे हैं. News headlines, brochures, formal, informal letters, advertisements. These kind of text types, you have to read them and understand and analyze them, and then search for whatever information is provided. Search for whatever information is asked, and then you choose the correct option by retrieving the information. Then understand information again, given in the same types of various texts. Acquire broad understanding of and look for specific information. Acquire broad understanding of and look for specific information in short narratives. Now, short narratives, these could be some sort of biographies, notices, messages, the ones which are given paragraph forms. All right. Now herein the message is not direct, the text, the answer is not given directly in the text. Rather, you have to read it and acquire a broad understanding to understand the overall clear message. Then you will be looking for any specific information that will be there in these short narratives, which can be either biographies, notices, or even anything else, because you see here we have an etc. And they're not really difficult. You don't have to be scared of the etc. because these short narratives are, pretty easy. All you have to do is read them very carefully. We will be discussing the strategy for reading comprehension in detail as well. This is just to give you a broad view of the syllabus. All right, let's move on. Now we come to the third section. First one is about the broad grammar topics. The second one is about the reading comprehension basically. So let's see what the third section is about. All right, so here we have the next section. Yeah, the third section, what will it test? It will test your ability to understand situation-based variations. Now, what are situation-based variations? Now, the responses that differ across various situations. How? Let's see. In functions like requesting, refusing, apologies, stating of preferences, expression of intent. Now you see these are various functions, and in all of these your responses differ, and there are certain ways of I should say formal and polite ways of these various functions, like for requesting, for refusing, for apologizing, for stating of preferences. Right, now for apologies, in some situations you say I'm sorry, some situations you say pardon me. And for example, when you couldn't, suppose when you're talking to somebody on the phone and you could not understand what they have said, you even say in that situation as well, you say pardon me, and that is an indirect way of saying I could not hear you, could you please repeat. All right, so even those situations you say pardon me. So your responses and functions like these will be tested in this third section. All right, Let's move on. Last section is the fourth section. This is the achiever section. Let's see इसमें क्या होगा. Okay, so this is our last section. In here we are going to have high order thinking skill questions, HOTS we call them. इसमें क्या होगा? इसमें the syllabus remains same as per section 1, section 2 and section 3. Alright, but here there will be questions slightly on the higher side. कि आपको थोड़ा सा they will be testing your analytical knowledge. ये आपकी थोड़ी extra application test होगी. So the syllabus remains the same, but there will be little bit advanced questions. Okay, now here you will be having 5 questions and each question will be of 3 marks each. So total 15 marks. Alright. That's it for all the sections. So now the most important question that comes is, when are the results declared? Now आपने IO का एग्जाम दे दिया and सबसे पहले जो क्वेश्चन आएगा उसके बाद वो ये है कि when will the results come out? You will be excited to know that how have I performed, how have my peers performed, and क्या मेरी ranking रही है. So the results will be declared. They're usually declared within a few months, which means maximum period of 2 months the results are declared, because जो हमने बात करी, this is about the level 1. Okay, the level 1 we have talked about. अगर आप level 1 में you pass the certain criteria, then you get a chance to participate in level 2. So the results are announced and then the level 2 exams also take place. So the results are declared. For example, last year the results were declared within about 45 to 50 days, which makes it about 1.5 or 2 months. So जल्दी आ जाते हैं results, you won't have to wait much, and उसके हिसाब से आपकी level 2 के लिए आपकी participation हो जाती है. आपकी participate मतलब आप कर सकते हैं. तो यही एक broad understanding थी. So
Alright, so that's all for our first class on IU. I hope you have understood what it is going to be really about and how we are going to take up each topic and study it separately with its questions as well. I will see you in the next class with our conceptual topic. Thank you for watching.